King Henry VIII of England, the many faces of a royal tyrant. The reign of King Henry VIII is one of the most infamous in British history. Known for his 6 wives, ruthless executions, and profound impact on religion, Henry's rule left a legacy of both splendor and terror. In this documentary, we uncover the rise, reign, and ruthless ambitions of a king who changed England forever. Henry VIII was born on June 28, 1491, at Greenwich Palace. He was the second son of Henry VII and Elizabeth of York, a marriage that united 2 warring houses and ended the bloody Wars of the Roses. Initially, young Henry was not expected to become king. His older brother, Prince Arthur, was groomed as the future ruler, while Henry was left to pursue a religious education and leisurely pursuits. In 1502, Arthur's sudden death left Henry as the new heir to the throne. To maintain a strong alliance with Spain, Henry was betrothed to his brother's widow, Catherine of Aragon, daughter of Ferdinand and Isabella. And when Henry VII died in 1509, young Henry ascended the throne at just 17 years old. Early reign and first marriage. The young king was celebrated for his charm, athleticism, and intelligence. His marriage to Catherine of Aragon was met with optimism, and England looked forward to a prosperous future. The early years of Henry's reign were marked by his enthusiasm for sport, feasting, and a genuine affection for Catherine. But as the years passed, Henry and Catherine faced a serious problem. Catherine bore him only one surviving child, a daughter, Mary. Desperate for a male heir to secure his dynasty, Henry began to question his marriage, and soon his attention turned to one of Catherine's ladies-in-waiting, Anne Boleyn. Anne Boleyn and the break from Rome. Anne Boleyn was intelligent, ambitious, and unlike any other woman Henry had known. She refused to be his mistress, insisting instead that he marry her. Determined to make in his queen and father a male heir, Henry sought an annulment from the Pope. But when his request was denied, Henry made a radical decision. In 1534, Henry declared himself the supreme head of the Church of England, breaking away from the Catholic Church. This decision marked the English Reformation and would reshape religion and power in England. Henry was now free to marry Anne, who became his second queen in 1533, but Anne failed to deliver a male heir. She gave birth to a daughter, Elizabeth. This failure, combined with Anne's political influence and Henry's shifting affections, led him to accuse her of adultery and treason. In 1536, Anne Boleyn was executed, becoming the first of Henry's queens to die by his orders. Jane Seymour and the elusive male heir. Within days of Anne's execution, Henry married Jane Seymour, a woman known for her gentle and quiet demeanor. Unlike Anne, Jane quickly won Henry's favor, and in 1537, she bore him a son, Edward, securing Henry's long-awaited male heir. But joy was short-lived. Jane died shortly after childbirth, leaving Henry devastated. He considered her his only true wife and had her buried beside him. The 4th to 6th wives, Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and Catherine Parr. Henry's 4th marriage was arranged for political reasons. He married Anne of Cleves, a German noblewoman, in 1540. But upon meeting her, Henry was horrified, famously calling her the Flanders mare. Their marriage was annulled within months, though Anne lived comfortably in England and maintained a friendly relationship with Henry. Not long after, Henry married Catherine Howard, a young cousin of Anne Boleyn. Catherine's beauty and charm captivated Henry, but she was indiscreet and engaged in affairs. When Henry learned of her adultery, he ordered her execution in 1542, making her the second wife to die under his wrath. Finally, in 1543, Henry married Catherine Parr, a twice-widowed woman who was kind and well-educated. Catherine managed to survive Henry's temper and encouraged him to reconcile with his daughters, Mary and Elizabeth. She would go on to outlive him, becoming the only wife to do so. The tyrant's rule, brutal executions, and fear. Henry's pursuit of absolute power drove him to extreme cruelty. Friends, advisors, and even family members who opposed his authority were executed without mercy. Sir Thomas More, Henry's former close friend, was beheaded for refusing to acknowledge the king's supremacy over the church. Cardinal Wolsey, once Henry's trusted advisor, was arrested and died before trial. Henry's decision to dissolve the monasteries brought suffering to many. Lands and wealth were seized, and religious institutions were destroyed. While he filled his treasury, thousands were left destitute. Henry's rule became synonymous with fear and repression, and England's spiritual fabric was forever changed. Historians still debate Henry VIII's legacy. He helped usher England into the Renaissance, supported the arts, and strengthened the monarchy. But his reign was also marred by excessive executions, religious persecution, and oppressive taxation. Was he a visionary or a tyrant? Perhaps Henry was both, a man who sought greatness at any cost. By his later years, Henry was barely a shadow of his former self. His once athletic body became bloated, and a painful leg wound caused by an old jousting injury turned him into a disabled, suffering man. He likely suffered from gout, diabetes, and other chronic ailments. His paranoia grew, and he isolated himself from even his closest advisors. On January 28, 1547, at the age of 55, Henry VIII died at Whitehall Palace. His health had deteriorated rapidly, and he spent his final days bedridden and in pain, a tragic end to a once mighty king. According to legend, even death could not contain Henry's larger-than-life presence. After his death, his body was placed in a lead-lined coffin and taken to St. George's Chapel. Along the way, it said that his bloated corpse leaked, and the coffin reportedly burst open, shocking those who witnessed the gruesome sight. For many, it was an ironic end to a life marked by excess and brutality. Henry's only male heir, Edward VI, ascended the throne at just 9 years old. Despite his youth, Edward tried to continue his father's Protestant reforms but died at only 15. After Edward, Henry's daughters Mary I and Elizabeth I each took the throne. Elizabeth, in particular, would go on to define a golden age in English history, known as the Elizabethan era. King Henry VIII remains one of history's most complex figures. His reign changed the course of English history, but at a tremendous cost. The lives of 6 wives, countless advisors, and ordinary citizens were shattered under his rule. His legacy is one of grandeur and terror, a story of a king who became a tyrant in his quest for glory. Thank you for being to the end of the video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and tell us what you think about this video below in the comments section. Let's meet again with another interesting video.